actually giving away an Usyk signed glove. Jump onto the Boxing King Media Instagram page. You'll see a post with the thumbnail of Johnny Nelson and Dominic Ingle pinned to the top. Just click on that post, the instructions on how to get yourself in the draw are on there. There's only about 100 people in the draw at the minute, so you got a good chance of winning. Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. Sonny Edwards. Sonny, it's been a long time, been trying to catch you for a while. And the funniest thing is, we were speaking on, was it like Saturday morning? And there was no news of anything. And then 24 hours later, you get a massive fight landed for one of your fighters.
Yeah, I'll be real. Ish was brought into the conversation on Friday. Just a touch of conversation of interest because he's already been way into camp. Ish didn't hesitate. He asked me what I think. I said I think it's a better opportunity for you in, all of the factors. Genuinely, I think it's a better fight for him. I think it's a better event. I think it's a better platform. It's better financially. It's a time and a chance to really break into the world scene of boxing. Josh Kelly's high ranked in a couple of the governing bodies, and it will be a great statement if Ish can do what he's been doing for the last couple. I remember when Ish came to work with me just under a year ago, the one thing he said to me is, "Sonny, I can't be doing these small halls no more."
The big banqueting suite.
He said, "Yo, just don't take me back to Ellen Road, I'll be real." Yeah. And now we're on the way to Wembley, so I'd like to think that I've delivered on my promises to him, and he's more than delivered on everything that's been asked of him, and he's taken every single fight. He said yes to every single opponent. Doesn't matter which one you're thinking of. He said yes. He hasn't asked for no more money any of the times. He had his contract. He was ready to fight any of the ones we was talking about previously for that same next fight. There wasn't hesitation. There wasn't I need more. There wasn't I need an 8-rounder, 12 months. Let's try it again in 2025. Issues real, man. He's one of the realest I've met, and it's very rare that I meet people that I feel have the same sort of mindset with me when it comes to boxing. And that really is, if we're professional and the promoter's talking about it, then why aren't we?
I would definitely agree with that as well. Because, like he said to you there, he said to me a long time ago as well, I'm ready to fight anyone, any place, anytime. And it's always been like that. And this opportunity's rocked up, and it's not an easy fight. Josh Kelly is looking for a massive statement, and obviously the weight, is it middleweight as well?
Yeah, so he's coming up weight. I'll be real though, if I'm honest, I've known Josh Kelly a long time. I don't think he's no middleweight. I'm pretty sure they was trying to bring Liam Smith down for some sort of catch weight, didn't get it. And Ish is comfortable. Like, his last fight was pretty much against the middleweight. Let's be real, Troy Williamson weighed just under 159. 4.5 pounds heavier than what Ish was on fight nights on the weigh-in. So no, Ish wasn't hesitant. The extra 6 pounds just means he can take the fight at 6 days' notice. If it was at 154, he might not have been able to, just because of the weight cut might have been too much. But this fell perfectly for him. He hasn't got to get all the way down to his fighting weight, and he feels strong. He feels sharp. He feels ready. It was pretty much just Ish falling into where Beefy fell out of, and Ish didn't have no questions, just yes, and it's refreshing.
It is. It's mad because his journey, and I spoke to him in depth a few months ago. He talked about how he looked to change his life after his past, and he wants to be an inspiration for his kids and the people of Leeds and where he's from. And he's gone from being a mandatory for an English title to fighting Lima, was a really hard fight, to fighting at bloody Wembley. That kind of stuff can only happen in boxing.
Yeah, and I mean, he's actually mandatory for the British title. He was just ordered to fight for the English title after he'd already been made mandatory. When he beat Troy, it was the final eliminator, and he's next in line for the winner of Sam Gilly versus Louis Green, which is his goal. The British title is really, really what he's wanted. But like he said to you in interviews, and like he says to me privately, he really will fight anyone. And technique-wise and skill-wise, we'll see in the ring what level Ish has got. I rate him highly, but we'll see. One thing I will say, though, he has got the physical makeup. He has got the mindset. He has got the toughness to get in a boxing ring with anyone his weight and weights above, in my opinion. And that's why he's made a name of himself being a sparring partner at light heavyweight. Is the first people that I heard sparring Ish. Ish don't really matter about size. He don't really go into his mind any of that sort of stuff. So, like I said, he's the easiest fighter that I've worked with. And and I think every fighter should be more like Ish.
Quick one, how does he beat Josh Kelly, and is it a points knockout thing? Obviously, you're backing your man.
Yeah, and I'll be real, like I like Josh, and we do go way back to GB. Since then, no, I guess our friendship kind of, I wouldn't say fell off, just ceased to exist more than anything. But we're here on business. I'm here fully rooting and fully supporting Ish in every way I can. Anything through fight week, helping make the weight, pushing in profile, shouting in the corner, spit bucket, whatever it is that Ish needs me to do, I'll Swiss Army knife it. You know what I mean?
You know what? I know you're playing the role of a manager, and I do rate that about you. That you're a world champion. You've obviously built a big profile for yourself, but you're always out there trying to help other fighters, whether it's the fighters you manage or fighters that you train with. You're always there trying to back their corner, and I don't know if that gets seen or recognised, but I do rate that by, because you don't have to do that. You could just sit at home, couldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it takes up maybe a little bit more time than what most people are really willing to give to boxing. But the way I did really kind of look at it is when I made the decision to go into it more, two-footed, is I'm involved in the conversations anyway, to be honest. Do you know how many times my phone's rang for an opinion or an opponent, or trying to get this fighter in the ring, or speaking to him for him, or introducing him and him, like, for years. So I'll be real, I was kind of got to the point of bringing so many fighters through the door to certain managers that they just started turning around and saying, no, you really need to start doing this with me. And that's kind of what happened. Thomas Asomba was my first fighter that I managed. He got out the ring with me, then became my sparring partner for my next fight, my world title fight, and then became a friend of mine, then asked me to help him find a new trainer. He was Grant's assistant, Pierce's first fighter, and then he asked me to manage him in the process of that, and he kind of birthed my management career, and I thank him a lot for that. He had the belief in myself maybe before I had the belief in myself to, ever go and ask or try and present myself as a manager to anyone. And I'll be real, I still don't. I would kind of put myself more as just an overall boxing consultant. Like, whatever they need in boxing, I'm not saying I know all the answers, but I probably know someone that knows the answer. And I'll be real, 20 years deep into a game, having my brother's life and career to learn from, as well as all of the fighters I'm connected to. From 9, 10, 11 years old, I was spending every single weekend pretty much at some boxing show, most Saturdays and Sundays at different boxing shows in different cities, amateurs. It's what I spent all my time doing. So I don't think it's really a surprise that, even though now it's not my dad taking me to all the shows, I've maintained that same consistency. I don't think there's anything else I'd really rather surround myself with. Any other industry or any other part of the world, I don't really see as more desirable than boxing. This is my space, this is my place, and I love it here. So I want to try and do everything at once. I'll be real, I want to take my career as my vehicle into managing, into coaching, into commentating, into promoting. I want to do everything. I'll be real, I want to do everything. I want to build a good team around me that I feel like I already have been doing. And yeah, I think the world is more oyster as far as boxing concerned, because at the end of the day, as I proved yesterday, that not just me, it was a team effort, but in the biggest conversations of world boxing, getting business done at 7 a.m, waking up with a bit of a sore head after my mum's birthday party the day before, we still get it done by midday, you know what I mean? And we was all packing by 6, 7 p.m, and now we're all here 24 hours later, you know what I mean? So it's what we are, though. It's who we are. It's what we do.
It's pretty mad. And whilst you're here, I've got to ask you, AJ Dubois, before I talk about your fight, just give me a quick prediction on that. I just saw you had a nice little interaction with AJ as well.
Yeah, man, I go away a long way back with AJ, actually. Obviously, through the London boxing circuit, while he was in senior ABAs, I was doing gym shows or regional finals in the schoolboys and the juniors, etc. And, we shared gyms and training, like, time around each other. And then my brother and him was actually really good friends. They traveled the world together on GB. They often shared the same room when they was away. And yeah, and still friends to this day. So yeah, I've known AJ a long time. He's mad because he's more, when I look at him, more AJ who I remember walking in Earlsfield Boxing Club to watch.
What was he like?
Oh, the same. I'll be real. I feel like at times you've probably seen evidence where the eyes, the time. What are you saying, Drew?
All in pink. I like it, though.
I'm trying.
No beef.
No beef yet.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Like I said, me and Josco, wait. Like the thing with me and boxing is, yeah, I've got so many.
Business, innit?
Yeah, but I've got so many friends that so often like issues fight against Troy. Me and Troy have the same manager, and Troy is my actual friend. You know what I mean? So it's like these things happen. Doesn't mean I weren't football managing the life out of it and wanting the best for Ish. I'm in Ish's corner. Ish come to me at a point where, you know, he hadn't really got anything over the line really worth talking about in a professional boxing career, and now he's doing it at Wembley Stadium, not arena. Me and Lyndon was on the phone earlier going, how the fuck has Ish leapfrogged us, yeah? Leapfrogged us. And but I'm glad because see us in our circles, there's no competitiveness between each other. There's no animosity. Like, that's what I love about my core friendship group. We just want the best for each other, and you can see the excitement. Like, I wish Ish could have seen the conversation that me and Lyndon had about it. Like, if he saw the excitement there, like, maybe we should start being a bit more fake and start videoing it so we can show people and that. But yeah, man, the energy level for the boys right now. Like, my fight got signed and announced within 24 hours. In the next 24 hours, Ish is on Wembley. Like,
I want to let you finish because you was just describing AJ as a younger guy. What was he like? Is there anything different you can share with us?
I'll be real. He's always been the same. Funny, confident, tall. Very good footballer. Yeah, but like one of the guys, I'll be real, and like I can't lie. That's why I know it's so easy that, you know, when the whole world spotlight is on him, and then maybe he has a crack of personality, we cannot understand. Look, I'm a former world champion, professional boxer, a relatively reasonable profile. I could not 1% comprehend what AJ has, and nor could none of the other boxers in this country, because no one has had. I would say most people in the UK see AJ's face every single day. No, not probably. If you scroll the internet, if you walk past a bus stop, a poster, there's a link to Lucozade, whatever other big brand advert, and it's got AJ's face on it. You know what I mean? He's had such a... It's like the Michael Jackson effect, man. It's like the Prince Naz. It's like when you get to that certain level of fame, it's like, how do you expect them to be... show what we would deem as acceptable and normal and appropriate to do when you build them up on such a platform and make them think that they're more special than everyone else. Why? Because you treat them like they're special than everyone else. And then the moment that their whole world and life is shattering in front of them, you expect them to react completely like there's no emotion needle. Like, what do you mean? You build someone up so far and so high that you can just tear them down, and the champ. And then yeah, so I don't feel like there's no change. If anything, he's probably just had to deal with, and this is just my assumptions, by the way, because I've never had these conversations with AJ, but he just had to deal with the whole world watching and go from being the one that everyone just nothing talks positively about to then seeing it going up and change and ride and wave. And it's hard, man. It's hard.
Who wins, Sonny?
I think AJ, I'll be real. And I like both guys. I was on GB with both guys. I'll be real. Anyone that's AJ's sight, eyeline, I think struggles.
Just tell me a little insight on Dubois. What was he like as a personality? I asked Troy this the other day, and all he said was he used to get up at 3 a.m. and go to the fridge.
Go to the fridge and make eggs. Me, Troy, and Daniel Dubois. That was a flat for a few weeks in on GB. Yeah.
Share some stories.
No, I think I've said it before. I can just remember one time I was waking up dying of thirst because I was having to do saunas to make the 5% on GB the next day. Yeah, and I can remember walking up hallway, look into the kitchen, and you just see Daniel Dubois, 6 foot, whatever he is, just shadow boxing and making about 8 scrambled eggs. I thought, you mad cunt. You know what I mean? It's like, you're right, Daniel. It's like, yeah. No, but Dan's cool. And my brother used to spar Daniel in like Lynn or Repton or whatever. And we was like, my brother was like maybe 13, Daniel was like 10, or maybe like my brother was like 15, Daniel was like 11 or something like that. They used to spar in one of the gyms that we'd both frequented. Like, yeah, so I've known Daniel a long time. When he was boxing for Del Riley in the 75 kilos U4 juniors, London finals, I can remember Daniel Dubois. So when I come to these places, and do you know what's so nice? I'm sat here now, you know, amongst the big names of British boxing, and everyone around me is my peers from before. You know what I mean?
They all give you the respect, as I've seen firsthand, which you obviously deserve, Sonny. I'm going to talk about your fight, but just tell me, is there any changes going into this fight, camp-wise, and do you do anything different?
Nah, man. Nah, just go to the ring and
The fight's in Birmingham. I know you was quite intent on wanting it in Sheffield. You obviously been vocal about being the A side in this as well. Your name's first on the poster, but it's in Birmingham. Does that make a difference? And what's going to happen to Galal Yafai?
So I wanted Sheffield, but I was happy with Birmingham. I know for a fact I'll sell better than Galal does in Birmingham. All this shout about he's not a superstar. I've never said I was a superstar, not once. Thank God there's someone like me in the division, otherwise there wouldn't be the money that he's getting paid. He wouldn't even got the contract that he got. You understand? Sonny's not a superstar, Sonny's not this, Sonny's not that. Sonny's got a bigger name than all three of the brothers put together. And that's the facts. That's the facts. So it happened in Birmingham, one, because I didn't mind. Because if I was dying on Sheffield, the fight would not have happened. Now, when you're asking questions, if you interview Rob McCracken, his trainer, ask him what promoters he was getting on the phone to complaining about Matchroom pressuring Galal into this fight. You ask him that question. And then if he tries to lie, then I'll go further. But I don't think he'll answer the question.
Sonny, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I appreciate your time as always, and I think it's going to be an exciting build-up fight week. I know you and Galal are friends, but I'm expecting some sort of beef with you or one of the brothers in the presser.
Nah, man, no beef. I'll be real. Galal, I've got utmost respect for. Cal, I think is cool. We've never had no issue. Now, Gamal's a little muppet that does personal training sessions for £15 an hour. And he was doing that less than a year after his professional boxing career ended. So his opinion means absolutely nothing. Like, if you actually show the ones that have a bit of something to talk about, we're not interacting and mixing like that. Because I respect Galal, I respect Cal, I respect their achievements and their accolades. We have had a rivalry. And even though I like Galal the person, who Galal Yafai represents to my boxing career, not now, because obviously I've been in front of him for a while. I'm talking about when I'm in 2015, 2016, where just because Rob McCracken was training Cal and friends, and it was all from Birmingham, and they all come through the same sort of system, and Max McCracken was training some of them, and just because of that, I beat Galal. Harvey had beaten Galal. And then for some reason, Galal was the number one. No, like, you make sense how that makes sense. He lost to two people on the squad and was put as number one without having to prove it.
Why was that?
Because Rob McCracken made the decisions and chose the ones that he knew that he was going to be training in the years to come. Look, they're getting lottery government funded, yeah? The whole system, and not just GB, the whole system of amateur boxing is evil. I'm so glad I never went to the Olympics. Did you see that farce of what they put in the opening ceremony in Paris? Remember why the Olympics...
We ain't spoken since, have we? That was madness.
Yeah, but remember why the Olympics was formed. The Olympics was formed because everyone was getting too rowdy and needed something to do, to look forward to distract everyone. That's why the Olympics was formed. Now, that doesn't seem like people had that intention with the best intentions. And now you're trying to tell me thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago, however the history is gone, they still have good intentions. No, man, the Olympics is a super organized society. Well, the foundation of within society, which basically let us know that no matter what we do, it doesn't matter. Because if they want to put a man in a boxing ring fighting women, they will do so, and then they'll try and gaslight us to thinking we're mad for even mentioning it. No, let's do the timeline. The end of 2023, these women were banned. So you tell me why in 2024, after women have been banned for actually being men, you tell me why UNICEF, do you know how big of a name of a corporation, of an organized company corporation UNICEF is? Now, when the fuck do UNICEF get involved in boxing? Let alone coming and making an ambassador out of someone that's just failed a gender test. And now the OIC pushed her into the Olympics so that when there was outrage, they had something for everyone to be angry and talking about and disgusted at. And then what did they do? Yeah, they made it a white versus brown thing at the same time. So, like, let's deep when they get our attention on the Olympics, what it really is. So I'm glad I haven't got the mark of the beast. on my arm. You know, thinking at one, you know, naive time that it was the best thing to ever do was to go and represent the country at the Olympics. Now I've got a complete different. I'm glad I never went. I'm glad I ain't got no stupid tattoo on my arm with the rings, because for me that's Satan. I'll be real.
The whole world is mad, Sonny. As you know, there's a lot of craziness going off all over the world, and it's been portrayed how they want us to see it.
Yeah, I mean, we from your education, from the movies you watch, from the things in the newspapers, from the social medias, everything that we believe to be existent, we've been shown. This world is so scary when you look at your phone. As soon as you go out on the road, it's not half as. Go and speak to every single one in this person in this room. Go and ask them how many crazy things they've seen on the internet. And then go and ask them how many times they've seen something crazy in their life. Maybe once. Of all the days we've lived here. What are the odds of that? But we walk around this earth completely frightened, completely fricked to death. Not me, but 90% of people. Because they think it's so dangerous out there, and it's because they're taught it. So, yeah, be easy on yourself. Be easy on your neighbours. We're all confused. Every feeling that you felt, I felt, and vice versa. So yeah, we're all assimilated more than we think we are. People think I start rambling off on madness because I don't think the most important thing is, you know, who's the best, or who looks the best, or who dresses the best, or drives the best car. Like, all of that is superficial bullshit that's been made up within men's minds and created with men's hands and then given to us to control men's lives. And not just men, I mean humankind. But it's crazy. The only thing I care about is boxing.
Sonny, we were due a long catch up, and that was pretty epic. Thank you for your time, brother. I'll catch you soon.
Riyadh season.